Hello and welcome back to my channel. I thought I would get on here today and do a 2025 empties video. I know that it's late and I didn't even post during 2025 on this channel. However, I still thought it would be nice to post, just kind of like as a reference for maybe like, hey, I've never panned on YouTube before, but here's what I finished last year kind of thing. And also just so that way I know that I have, the products up before I finally get rid of them. Because I've been holding on to them for some of them for almost a year. And I think that with it being 2026 now, I could have gotten rid of them like a month ago. So, yeah, I am gonna just go ahead and get started. I have them all in a bag here, but I am gonna lay them out behind me and just like sort them by category. And then that way I can just go over like the categories and how many I finished. And then I have some that I don't have like the physical like component or pan anymore. Um, so then I'll just talk about those as they come up. I have like a spreadsheet here, so I'll just reference that. And then, yeah, hopefully if you like to see empties videos like me, then you enjoy this video. If you can give me a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it, since I am just starting now on YouTube, and I could really use all the help I could get. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I do have my spreadsheet here that I'll be referencing, so if you see me look here, I'm just double checking to make sure I'm not missing anything. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, this is a category that is actually not in my spreadsheet, but I thought it would be nice to share anyways. But I do have a lot of these, well, 3. Biore UV Aqua Rich Weightless Moisturizer Broad Spectrum SPF 50 sunscreens. I love these. I don't really think I'm going to be looking for another moisturizer. I only have 3 here, but I have a feeling that I probably finished more since, again, I didn't actually track these. I actually could have probably finished more of these, but I do love these, so you're going to see more empties of these in the future, if I had to guess. So I'll just go ahead and get onto primers. All right, for primers, I have 4. If I remember correctly, the very first one that I finished up in 2025 would have been this Master Prime by Face Studio. It was Maybelline, it's just like rubbed off. Nothing I was crazy about. I honestly don't know if they sell that one anymore, but for me, I have oily skin. I don't need a glowy primer, and that's what that was. So I was just happy to get it out of my collection, especially because it was my oldest primer at the time. After that, I think was this Too Faced Hangover RX Replenishing Face Primer. This one was nothing special. I think it was just supposed to be like moisturizing or skincare, something like that. So I was able to use it up. I wouldn't necessarily get it again, but I guess it's not a bad product. Then was the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. I love how this one smells. I think I used it up because I was worried about it being like a dew primer. I was like, oh, like, why did I get this? I have oily skin. I don't need dewiness. But if I'm thinking about it, I don't really think it made me more dewy. So I wouldn't mind getting this again, although I would probably just get the regular e.l.f. Power Grip Primer in the future, since I do like that one. And last primer that I finished was the Ulta Beauty Poreless Face Primer. This is a mini, but it still took a while to get through. I actually like this more than I thought I would. I didn't know if I was going to like it because I have other poreless primers that I know I like the e.l.f. Poreless Putty. But I actually ended up liking this one and I almost miss it now. But I do want to finish some other primers that I have before I get any new poreless primers again. So 4 primers finished in 2025. So let's move on to foundations. Okay, looks like as far as foundations last year, I only finished 3 of them. So it looks like the very first one that I finished, sorry, I'm getting one more out of the box. All right, so it looks like the very first one that I finished was the Maybelline eraser treatment something. It's rubbed off on the packaging, but yeah, nothing really crazy either. It was very light coverage, which I actually really liked at the time, and it was easy to apply. I'm not crazy about sponge tip applicators though, so I probably wouldn't get this again. I definitely prefer a liquid format for me. Um, so although it was a decent foundation, it's not something that I'm seeking out anymore. Then I finished this Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and I think I did really like this one. However, I don't like the packaging, and I think I hear this from a lot of people who have this foundation, is just why? Like there's no pump. It's literally just you had to pour it out, which I got really annoyed with. So I decanted it into this like empty foundation bottle that I bought on Amazon. Like that's how much it annoyed me. I purchased a bottle on Amazon because I didn't have any empty foundation bottles for me to pour it into. And I just scooped out as much as I could reach. And I remember liking it a lot. I did have to mix it eventually when I lost my tan, but I did like that one. And I think that once I finish a couple of foundations, once I get down to like 1 or 2, I might consider repurchasing that one if I don't fall in love with something else already. And the last one I finished was the Too Faced A Born This Way Undetectable Medium to Full Coverage Foundation. And this one went through it. It's like cracked right here and it's cracked right here. So this one did definitely go through it. Although I did enjoy it, I do prefer the matte formula of this. However, it looks like they replaced the matte formula because now when I go into Ulta, I haven't really been to a Sephora in a while, but now when I go into Ulta, the matte line has been replaced by a different matte foundation line. It doesn't look like it has the same name, so I'm not sure if it's the exact same formula and it's just been repackaged or what. I haven't tried it. I'm not gonna buy any more foundations until I use up a couple first. So I won't really find out for a while. But if you have tried it and you know the other matte foundation, let me know because I am curious. But yes, so that was 3 foundations that I finished in 2025. I don't see any more in here. So I think we'll just go ahead and move on to concealers and color correctors. Okay, so I actually only have 3 in this category. I guess I didn't go through as many as I thought I did. The very first one that I finished was a Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 05. Nothing really crazy I can say about these. I do keep repurchasing them. However, it has been replaced by the Tarte Shape Tape. I definitely have fallen in love with these, and if they're on sale for, I think when they go on sale, they're usually like $12 or something. Like it becomes like buy one, get one. I think that they're worth the price. Just for me personally, they blend really well. They're like really good coverage, especially compared to the Fit Me. But if I could only go for drugstore again, I would consider going back to the Maybelline Fit Me. So you did already see this one. This was the second concealer that I finished in 2025, and it was the Tarte Shape Tape, Double Duty Beauty, I guess. It doesn't say if it's like, I know there's different shape tapes, but this one just says Shape Tape. And the last product that I finished was the NYX HD Studio Photogenic concealer, and it's a green color corrector. I was just trying to finish this because it was old and I don't want to keep products in my collection for too long. And I think this one was a couple years old now. So Yeah, we only finished 2 concealers and 1 color corrector last year. Okay, so this one's gonna be a little bit disappointing because I only have one to show you. It is a e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand Contour in Fair Light. I did really enjoy this. It is actually cool toned. I know most contours out there end up being more for like bronzing than they are contours, since they're really not cool toned enough for, I guess, pale skin. I am a little bit tan right now, but usually I'm not able to pull off a bronzer. So this was actually really nice to find something that was already cool toned that I didn't have to make myself. I did enjoy this and I would repurchase it once I finish some of my other cream products. But two other products that I finished that I don't have to show you is I had a e.l.f. blush. I really can't tell you the name of it. I want to say it was Wild Rose or maybe like pink something. I'll have to like try to look it up, see if I can even find it. It was a really pigmented blush. It was really pretty. Um, I enjoyed it. It was e.l.f., so it was actually very affordable. Um, but I don't have anything to show you because I definitely did depot that one. And then I like repotted it again into like a smaller pan. So I just don't have any of the pans to show you. But that was a nice product. And the last thing that I finished in the bronzers, blush, contours, and highlighter section was a Franken contour that I ended up making myself from a bunch of other products. I will just adjust the like contours that I have because they are too warm, and I'll just like add like gray eyeshadow or like a, um, what do you call it, loose setting powder, to try to like take some of that pigment away. Just do anything I can so I can still use up the products that I have. So since it was something I made, I can't give you a review on that, but I did finish a full pan of product like that, which is why I'm going to count it. But I'll go ahead and move on to the next section. Okay, so next section is actually pretty small, so I'm going to do all of the eye related products together, not including eyeshadows. So I'll do eyeliners first. I finished 3 eyeliners last year, and this is not including liquid liners that exploded on me because I don't count those as panned since they just became unusable before I could get all of the product out. Um, I love the NYX, what are they? These are the ones I'm talking about. They're the NYX Epic ink liners, but if you have these, and I've seen other people post about them, they do explode. I don't know why, it seems random. I had one do it to me maybe after a month of use, and I had another one do it to me after 6 months of use. So I can't really say exactly what it is, but I still really enjoy that eyeliner, so I still keep getting it. So I don't count those as empties. I did go through maybe like 2 or 3 of those, due to that reason though. So other liners that I finished include 2 cream gel liners from ColourPop. These are from their Avatar: The Last Airbender collection. This was the air element and this was the earth element. I can't remember right now what the names of them were because they are completely rubbed off, but I did really enjoy this one. It was just a light, um, it's like a light shimmery eyeliner, so it was actually really nice to put in my inner corner. I don't think you can get it again, but I did enjoy it while I had it. This one was not as nice because this one dried out on me, pretty fast. I was still able to use it. It was just definitely a little bit rough to use. Like, I don't want to say it hurt, but it just wasn't ideal. Like, it wasn't smooth and creamy. Um, it seems like most of my cream gel liners in this collection are starting to dry out. My blue one is still fine. I'm wearing that one today, but the fire element one, I think that one might be done for, even though I'm still trying to find a way to make it work since it is in my plan to pan. and I would be sad if I have to declutter it before I can pan it, but that's my fault. I should have used it sooner. And then I have another like cream gel kind of liner. This one is the L'Oreal Infallible Never Fail eyeliner. So it looks like this. It has a little smudge. It's like rubber on the end. And I did enjoy this. It's not like the best black eyeliner I've ever tried. It was more smudgy, but I'm sure that's the intention of it. So it did smear a little bit more, which I like when I was going for that look. However, most times if I'm going for a black eyeliner, I want it to stay in my waterline and not smudge. So I probably wouldn't get it again for that reason. However, if for some reason I end up having a black eyeliner that refuses to smudge and I need something that's gonna smudge, I would consider it again if they still sell it. I don't know because I haven't really looked. I haven't been buying new makeup for a while. But yeah, 3 eyeliners. Then I only finished one eyebrow pencil, and this is the Milani Precision Brow pencil in ebony. I love these. I don't really go through brow products like crazy, but I also would have used more if I continued to use my brow products as normal. However, I decided to actually focus on using more of my eyeshadows for my brows. That way, I get more use on my eyeshadows and I stop spending money on brow products, which even though these aren't that much, I know that they can add up if you do use them consistently enough. But yeah, I only went through one. And then I went through the Kosas Airbrow Gel. It's rubbed off, but it was a clear gel. It was part of the Sephora birthday gift for 2024, I believe. Nothing crazy. I know I heard other people talk about it, say that it like would flake off during the day or that it would like dry white. I never had that problem and I have pretty dark brows. So I don't know if they're, maybe good and bad batches out there. I had no problem with it, but I also don't really need a brow gel. I just kind of use them whenever I get one like free with purchase. Um, but I definitely don't go looking for them, so I wouldn't necessarily repurchase it. And then I finished 3 mascaras last year. 2 of them are the L'Oreal Telescopic mascaras. I did not like these as well as it seems like other people normally do. I've heard people say that they're gorgeous, that, they're so beautiful in the eyes. Maybe I'm the problem, but it would not hold a curl for me. And then my other problem was I feel like it didn't really give me voluminous lashes. I don't know if that's not what they're for, but I just felt like instead of me looking like I had really fanned out lashes, that they would just kind of like clump up together like this. And it just made me look like I didn't have a lot of lashes to have or a lot of lashes to show. It was better once I started using a mascara primer with it, but I don't feel like mascaras should depend on a mascara primer, so I just don't think that's ideal. But I did finish both of them since they came in a combo pack. That's why I had 2, and I had accidentally opened the second one before I finished the first one, so that's why I ended up going through both of them instead of just giving one away. And the last mascara that I have is this KVD Go Big or Go Home. I only ended up getting this because I think I packed for a trip and somehow forgot to pack a mascara. And we were already in a plaza with the TJ Maxx on our way like out of town. So I'm so out of breath, sorry. Just went in and like grabbed the cheapest mascara that there was. Yeah, I would not get it again. I wasn't crazy about the product. It just nothing really crazy to say. I feel like there's much better mascaras out there. So yeah, I finished 3 eyeliners, 2 brow products, and 3 mascaras last year. So I'll move on to the next one. So I'm gonna go a little bit out of order and go into setting sprays. So I have 3 that I finished last year. The first one, sorry, my nose is itchy, being the Urban Decay De-Slick. I think this is like maybe a version of their all-nighter, but yeah, it was okay. I personally wouldn't spend the money on this. Um, I am trying the regular all-nighter this year, but I don't know if this one really did too much for me. It's just kind of hard to tell, I feel, because your routine changes so much. So setting sprays being the last step, it's kind of hard for me to tell like when it makes a big difference or not. Um, so yeah, I really don't know with that one. Same with the Elf Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. This one I do think it made me dewy, but it smells really good. So I'll get it every once in a while just to enjoy during the winter. Um, or maybe like in between steps, but not as like my finisher spray because it smells so nice and it's really affordable. So I don't mind using it like that. And the last one that I finished was the NYX Marshmallow Setting Spray. Honestly, I wouldn't get it again. I don't feel like it did much for me. It also says it was sweetly scented, but I wasn't crazy about the scent either. So for me, there's just no reason to get it again. Yeah, it just smells like artificially sweet. Um, so I personally wouldn't recommend necessarily or get it again. But I did finish 3 setting sprays last year. I did forget to mention, I probably would have finished more setting sprays if I hadn't been trying out different ones in like the second half of the year. I've kind of explained why I acquired one of them was for a trip, had to fit within the like 3.4 fluid ounces limit. And then another one I got because I think I had a coupon and I really wanted to try it. And it was like the infallible version of the one size, like the hairspray type setting spray. So if I hadn't gotten those, I probably would have finished more of them. But yeah. So I'll do the lips next. For lips, I did finish 2 lip scrubs. The first one being the Beauty Treats Sugar Lip Scrub in Raspberry. Nothing I was crazy about. I mean, it worked good, or it worked well. I kind of got sick of the scent after a while just because it's like so much product. I don't know if you can still get this. I think I found this in, it was like a beauty, or sorry, it was like a fashion kind of store. I don't know how to describe it. It was like a similar to a Charlotte Russe, but I don't think it was a Charlotte Russe kind of store. So yeah, I don't know if you can still get this. I mean, there's so many out there. I don't feel like lip scrubs need to do anything special. Then I finished the Trifle Cosmetics Sugar Bunny Heavenly Lip Scrub. This one was all right as well. I got this one from someone who had like an Ipsy bag subscription, and I guess they ended up getting one more bag after they canceled and they didn't want it anymore. They hadn't opened any other products, so they just asked me if I wanted it, and I ended up saying yes, and I finally opened it up last year and finished this. So, 2 lip scrubs. I only finished 1 lip liner last year. It is a ColourPop liner. I used as much of it as I could because I actually really like this shade, although I always forget the name of it. I feel like it's either Brink or Oh Snap, something like that. I'll try to put it on the screen somewhere here, but I actually really enjoy this one. And once I get through the majority of my lip liners, if they still have that one and I haven't found one that I enjoy more, I might repurchase that one. So next I only have 1 lip stain, so I'll do the lip stain. This is the ColourPop Glossy Lip Stain from the Avatar The Last Airbender collection in Sealed with a Kiss. I panned this for a really long time. I don't know why I was trying to remember off the top of my head. Have terrible memory. I'm not gonna remember that. It was definitely over a year, and I finally finished it last year. I think like November or October. I don't mind the formula. I was just more worried because it seemed like it was starting to separate. So I do have the other one from this collection, so I am trying to finish that one this year, although it doesn't seem like that one is separating. So I don't know if it was just this one. Um, but yeah, I don't mind it. It just took forever to get through. So one lip stain. And then I have a lot of lip glosses, so I'm trying to think of how to divide these. So I'll just do them little by little, I guess. I have 3 Luxe glosses to start off my lip glosses empties. These are all from ColourPop. The 2 with the black packaging are from their Star Wars collection, and the green one is from their Bambi collection. I did already finish one the year before, and then I am working on one now. So I had a total of 5, but it looks like last year I was able to get through 3 of them. So they're not my favorite formula. I've spoken about it before, but I just don't love glitter. They all have glitter, and they're also thicker than I normally like my glosses to be. So just not something I would personally get again, although I am probably going to keep the packaging of the ones with the black tops in case I ever want to like decant anything into these. So the containers might stay, the ones with the black glittery lids at least. I'll do my 2 plumping lip glosses. This one is from ColourPop. It is the So Juicy Plumping Lip Gloss in Bonus Track. This was a purple glittery lip gloss. It wasn't my favorite. I don't love the So Juicy formulas. And again, I don't love glitter in my lip gloss. And this one, although you would think it would go on clear, it did have like a slight purple tint, so I didn't enjoy it as much, so I just wore this one to work. It just took a really long time to get through, if you can see all of the markings on the back. There were some months I did not make a lot of progress, and I think there was like a marking up here that got rubbed off, so it was probably like at least 6 months. That's a long time for a gloss, I feel like. Then I have a mini Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme Plumping Lip Gloss. I actually did really like these. And I say did just because I'm starting to feel a little bit confused. I had a full size one the year before where I felt like the plumping effect lasted almost all the way until I got to like the bottom of the product. However, when I opened this one, it felt like I lost the plumping effect within a month of use, and I was using it only like once a day, and I was still like up here by the time that I lost the plumping effect. So it was just kind of confusing. I don't expect my plumping lip glosses to stop feeling like they're plumping. I know the ColourPop one still feels minty, but I know that the Too Faced ones have like a different sensation, so I'm not really sure. I guess while we're on plumping, this is not a lip gloss, but a plumping lip balm from Makeup by Mario. Also from the Sephora birthday gifts. This one is from the 2025 one and not the 2024, however. I actually did like this product. I like the color of it. I didn't mind the consistency or I can't remember the name of it right now. Like the word, the effects, the result. Yeah, I didn't mind how it looked on the lips. I don't know if I really felt a plumping with this one, but I probably wouldn't get it again just because I'm sure I can find more affordable options that do similar enough for me. So probably won't get it again, but it was nice. Next, I have 2 lip oils, which I always put in with my lip glosses because I kind of use them the same way. This is the Kosas Wet Lip Oil in the shade Unbuttoned. I'm pretty sure this is a mini because it came with the Sephora birthday gift in 2024. This one had glitter in it, but I didn't mind it. I just didn't feel like this was moisturizing at all. So I definitely wouldn't get it if you're getting a lip oil to be moisturizing. And that's what I personally want from a lip oil. So it's just not something that works for me and what I want it for. And then this was a free gift with purchase. It is the Ulta Beauty Collection tinted lip oil. And I don't know how well you can tell, but it was like a pale pink shade. Luckily, it wasn't too pigmented, but because of that, I did want to try to use it up, and I think I used this within a month. Didn't really take too long. I didn't mind the formula, I just wasn't a fan of the color, so I'm just glad that I was able to finish that one. 2 more lip glosses. First one is the NYX Butter Gloss in Tiramisu. I love this one. I love the shade of it. I'm wearing another NYX Butter Gloss today. Not this one, but funny story is I had lost this one and I missed it so much that I ended up buying the other one thinking I was buying the same shade, and instead of buying tiramisu, I had purchased angel food cake. I just hadn't memorized the name of the shade at the time, but I do really like this one, and once I finish a couple of glosses, I would probably go back and get it. Then I have a Bath & Body Works Strawberry Pound Cake Clear Lip Gloss, and nothing crazy to say about it. I just kind of, it felt really oily, but it wasn't necessarily bad. You just had to, not apply too much. I prefer tinted lip glosses and lip oils, so I wouldn't get it again. But it also wasn't a bad product, and I think I got that one on sale when I purchased like a bunch of other body related products like body care. So yeah. 4 more lip balms. I'm not sure if one of these counts as a lip balm, but I'm gonna include it because to me that's how I used it. I finished a Vaseline Lip Therapy. It's the rosy lips one, so it's the pink one. I really like this. I love putting this one on at night. I just had it open for a while, so I wanted to make sure I used it up. And then I have another one in backup already, but I want to go through a couple of other products before I go through that one as well. Then I have this was actually a Frankengloss or a Frankenbalm. So I made it out of like the remains of a bunch of other like products. So it had like the remains of like other chapsticks and lip balms and then a lipstick, or maybe it was 2 lipsticks, but it was like a full product by the time that I melted everything down and got it in the tube. So I'm counting it as a product. I can't really give you a review on that one since it was just combined with a bunch of other things. I might just keep the component for that one though. And this one was a recent empty. This is an EOS lip balm. There's no like name or stickers or anything on here. So I want to say this is like lychee raspberry or something. I think they still sell this one. I feel like I've seen it recently. I just wanted to finish it because it was a little bit older. It didn't smell bad or anything, but again, I just don't want to let makeup or beauty products sit there forever and ever. And last one is actually just a mini or a sample. It is from Tarte, and it is the Maracuja Juicy Lip in the shade Rose. And I just say I use it as a lip balm because it was very sheer. I did finish it, and I even like went in the tube with a brush. It was nice. It was moisturizing. It was sheer. Personally, I don't know if I would spend that much money on something like that again, or I think that was a gift sample, or a sample with purchase. But yeah, I don't know if I would personally spend money on something like that when I'm sure I can get like a lip gloss from the drugstore that will give me the same thing from that. And then finally for lips, I have a ColourPop lippy, and this is the one that I used with this lip liner. So I kind of finished them around the same time. I did really like this shade as well. As you can tell, I dug into the component for this one. So one lippy. Okay, for this next section, I'm gonna do eyeshadows. So the unfortunate part about this is because they're eyeshadows, I normally depot them once they get low enough. And then I don't have the original packaging for a lot of these, or I don't have that many eyeshadows, but for a chunk of them. So I'm just going to try to find a picture of either the palette or just like zoom in on the shade or something for the ones that I don't have. And then the ones that I do have, I'll pull out the palette. So let's see. All right, sorry about that. I'm sure that the background and I have changed, obviously, but this is actually now the following day. My phone did die yesterday when I was recording that clip. I took a break, I charged my phone, I came back, I recorded the ending, and then a whole nother video. And when I heard it back, I realized I guess my mic was either not plugged in or not selected. So I'm redoing it now. Luckily, there's not too much left to go. So I know that I was talking about how I'm going to be referencing my spreadsheet here for the eyeshadows since I don't have the pans anymore. So I'm just going to go through the ones that I have in order. And then I'll try to like insert a picture here if I didn't already say that. So looks like the very first one I finished was an Urban Decay shade from my Naked 2 palette, and it was the shade YDK. Then the next one was from the same palette, the shade Verve. I have this one to show you, my Pan That palette this year, but last year I did finish this shade right here, and it was like a really cool toned taupe. That's the best way I can think of to describe it. After that, I finished from this palette right here. I finished the shade Former, and that was just a nice shimmery shade. It was a good one to use as a highlighter. So if you can imagine like a really light, maybe like gold champagne-y kind of color, it was really nice. Then I finished the white eyeshadow from my Pan That palette last year, which is the KBD Shade and Light Eye palette. So that shade was right here. It was just a matte white shade, and I was able to finish it up, and then I frankened another one in its place. After that, I finished one from my ColourPop Stone Cold Fox palette. And I do have a couple of these shades in my magnetic palette that I've shown in the 2 videos before this. But yeah, I have some out, but I did finish this one this year, or this past year, which is the shade Caving In. And it was just like a nice neutral shimmer. In my spreadsheet here, it shows that I finished a total of 7 eyeshadows, which I think is a little disappointing. I definitely thought that I had finished more, or at least had hope that I finished more. But I did get use on my Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette, which is a lot more stubborn than I thought it was going to be. I definitely thought it was going to be easier to get through, and I only got 1 empty in the whole year, and I was using it almost every day, but that's okay. Some items that I also finished were fragrances. I do keep those as well, and I do always have one in my project pan. So I finished 4 body sprays and 3 perfumes. The first body spray I finished was the Bath & Body Works Champagne Apple and Honey fine fragrance mist. Wasn't crazy about it. That's why I panned it. Didn't take me too long. Looks like it took me about 5 months. Going by the marks here. It says intro 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and then 4 to 5. And then, I guess it took me, like 5 months, I guess. That's the math. I can't think right now. I'm tired. And then I remember my Warm and Cozy mist from Pink. I actually really like this one. I just decided to finish it up since it's a mini, and I was moving around the time that I was panning this, so I just didn't want to bring like more fluids with me if I didn't have to. That way I don't have to worry so much about how I'm packing them, which was nice. I do like how this one smells, so if I were to run out of a couple body sprays, I would consider getting that one. The last body spray that I have physically to show you is Dahlia by Bath & Body Works. And I like the scent of this one, but it was leaking, so it was ruining the packaging, getting all over my other body mist, so I just decided it was finally time for me to use it up, but it does smell very nice. The one that I don't have is, I'll try to put a picture of it on the screen somewhere, but it was, I think the brand is Nutrius, and it was like a pink body spray. It came in a 3-pack from Costco, but I didn't love the scent. I thought I did at first, and then the more I used it, the more I realized it smelled like alcohol and like too artificially sweet. And it's just too much for me, so I just decided to finish it up since I think I was already about maybe halfway through. Because I guess I go through body sprays relatively quickly. I've heard some people say that they last them like months and months and months and months. Or people that say that like 20 uses gets them like this far, and like, I don't know, I think I tend to go through them a lot quicker. I'm not sure like what exactly I'm doing different. But yeah, so it was a total of 4 body sprays and 3 perfumes. The first one is Pink Ice by Rue 21. This was given to me by someone who purchased it and ended up not liking it. So they offered it to me and I said, yeah, why not? I didn't love it. I don't know if I knew what it smelled like when I accepted it, but yeah, I just decided I wanted to pan it because I didn't really want it in my collection and I didn't really love how it smelled anyways, so it just made sense to me. Then I finished a Victoria's Secret Tease Coco Soiree perfume. This one I did really like, but I don't think they sell it anymore. But I did buy a backup of it around the same time when they were still selling it. So I do have one now, but I don't think I'm going to be able to replace it. So that's okay. And my last one is, I'm sure almost everyone knows this, Eilish by Billie Eilish perfume. I love how this smells. It smells so good. I already have another one open and I have the body mist, so I'm satisfied. I guess I don't really feel like I need to go out looking for perfumes really. So as far as makeup empties go, it looks like I finished 59 products if everything is in my spreadsheet and if everything is correct, which I don't think is bad. I definitely think I could have done better if I had pushed myself a little bit more. And I say that because I do wear makeup almost every day that I go to work. I was only really bad about it in the last 2 months of the year, but that was because I was getting into a routine and I was adjusting. I was going to the gym really late, coming home really late, waking up late, and not having time to get ready. But now I am back in a routine and I'm like wearing makeup much more consistently now. So I think I could have finished more because I was really close on some things. And I feel like if I had gotten like 2 months worth of use, I probably would have finished them, but it's okay. I think that is everything that I have to show you that I kept and I tracked. I do plan on recording another video after this with my inventory. So if you do want to see that, keep an eye out for it. I'm gonna make sure to try that I upload these sooner rather than later. I know that editing is honestly like not the hardest part, but it is very time consuming. So yeah, hopefully audio should be better. When I was listening to it yesterday, it sounded a lot better than the first two videos. So I'm hoping that this will sound good. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you could do me a favor and like or subscribe, I am very new to YouTube, so that would really help me out. And I would really appreciate that. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.